Okay, you want some power? Come with me, I'll show you power. Okay, today, whatever it is, it's kind of nice tonight, eh, Yal? It's not raining, son of a gun. Anyway, what I'm gonna, this vast amount of crap stuck in my head. I'm gonna show you, you want power, I'll show you power. Now, I'm not gonna candy coat this at all, and this isn't a paid advertisement, so I'm just gonna tell it the way it is. I'm not gonna candy coat it, okay? So this is a 46-foot Renegade coach, made in Bristol, Indiana. Now these things are top of the line. Like, this thing is worth close to $1 million when it's brand new. Now, with that being said, this has got 3 air conditioners on it. So you do the math. Each one of them takes $2,300 to start. So you're up to 67, almost 7,000 just to get the air conditioner to run. And then you got everything else. It's got a 12.5 kilowatt generator on it. Okay? As soon as you see it, you're going to know. It's an Oman quiet generator. It's very, very quiet. We'll start it up in a bit. Now, these are very expensive. These generators, like, I'm not trying to tell anybody to go buy one. I'm not doing that. I'm just showing you the generator so that you know what it's all about. These generators, this one here, when it was bought in '97, was $12,000. Well, it was almost a dollar a watt is what it was. So it's 12.5K generator, right? So this one here is very nice. It's got your on-off button, a breaker here, antifreeze here. You take the door off, you got fuel, you got your dipstick here for your engine. Okay, now, with that being said, this generator has the potential to be one of the best on the planet. Now, where the problem comes is you'll see this one's here is dusty. They don't like dirt, they don't like dust, and they don't like water. So why and how would you put it in a truck? I don't know. These generators, if they are kept clean in a trailer out of the way where there's no water, dirt, or anything getting out, they are awesome. But believe me, as you know, when they go down, it costs money. This one here, for instance, had the front fan go out of it, and the fan belts go out of it, and the computer out of it. Now the computer's about $900. The fan was close to $900, and the fan belt drive and all that was close to about $1,300. Now this has got, he's probably put, I would say, $5,000 into this, and he's got 4,200 hours on it. 4,200 hours. So for every hour he's put into it, he's almost put $2 or $1.10 an hour. That's the rough looking at it. But you know, when you look at the generator in a whole, they're very expensive. You have to be a mechanic to maintain them. If you buy one of these, it'll cost you a fortune to keep it maintained. They are a good generator, I gotta admit that. They are a good generator. Now this one's a 240. So this coach is not 240. It's got two 120 legs on it, right? The 50 amp service, that's what it's set up for. So, but the engine in this is a Kubota. Now, I don't care who it is or who says it is or whatever, the Kubota engine is the best. There is nothing better than a Kubota. These things will run, I've seen these things with 21,000 hours on a reefer and still running. They are idiot proof. Now the problem with the generator comes is that they try to make it so easy and complex that they put a whole bunch of stuff in it. Like they put sensors in for this and sensors for that and sensors for this. Now, me being a mechanic and a drag racer, if I owned that, I would rip off all the junk off it and make a generator out of it. Just an ordinary generator. No overheat, none of that crap. Because that's where the problem goes. Because the motor is indestructible. Totally indestructible. Even the generator part is indestructible. It's all the stuff they put on it. Just like your car. The pieces are indestructible, but they put computers on it, and that's where it goes. That's where they put the electronic box that controls everything. It senses the voltage. It senses how much it starts. It senses the brushes, all this stuff. And it's just too complex. So, like, everybody asked me, my good friend Timmy G, he asked me, I said, it needs a computer. Well, a computer's $1,200. And you can tell if the computer's gone because stupid stuff goes wrong, right? But I said it needs a computer, and $1,200 is a big bite. Like, you got a pretty deep pockets to do that. So what you have to do is just keep buying until you finally bite the bullet and put a computer in. So the ECM's an issue, and the fan and the drive belt. Now, after I think it was 8 or 9, they've changed the drive. Now it's a direct drive instead of a belt drive. It used to be 2 belts. It was the stupidest. I don't know how Cummins ever come up with it. It was the stupidest thing. It had a fan belt off the crank driving an idler, from there driving the fan. It was just the dumbest thing I ever seen. But they thought it was great. So this, if I owned one of these, I'd be pulling it out every 2 years at least. Every 2 years. Rip it out, take the box off it, put a new fan belt on it, and check the water pump and all that stuff, the starter, all that stuff. Pull it out, and if you do that, you probably will not have a problem. Probably will not have a problem. I've done 5 or 6 of them and never had a problem yet. And this is an Onan quiet diesel, 25,000. Okay, you push it down here and it'll glow and pump. And then you go up. And then that's pretty quiet for a 12.5K generator. Believe me. You know, that's pretty quiet, I gotta admit. Like even the Honda 5,000 or 4,000 is pretty close to the same amount. You gotta admit, it is quiet. But it's like everything else, it's got its issues. It's got its issue. The good part about this one is hooked up to the truck. It uses the same fuel tanks. It runs on diesel, and it's lifted off the bottom, so it'll only run it down to quarter tank, and then the generator quit. So if the generator quits, you know that you're out of fuel, right? You don't have to really horse around. If you run out of fuel, it's easy. It'll bleed itself. It's got cables. Now this one here, the generator is wired to the coach. Now the reason for that is that if you drive the coach, the batteries are good, right? So if the coach batteries are dead, it won't start. Then you're sitting in the water with nothing. So that's why they run it to the chassis, not the coach batteries. But the other thing with these is the air cleaner. The air cleaner has to be clean. Totally, totally, totally clean. And you should always carry a spare one, because what it'll do is it's got 3 lights on it. Oil, overheat, and mechanical. Now, if it shuts down on mechanical the first time, chances are it's the air cleaner. If you take the air cleaner out and any dust comes out of it, and put a new one in. Because the way it sucks the dirt up is right up to the center, right? Now, you have to make sure the antifreeze is up, because these have a habit of the antifreeze going down below the level, and then it'll run, but it won't overheat. Well, it'll overheat, but it won't shut down for overheating because the water's not touching the sensor, so the sensor won't read overheat. So it's kind of them quirky things. But there's got lots of little things wrong. You keep it up, you have to stay on it all the time like anything else. You just can't throw it in there and drive for 5 years. And this is not a 5-year generator. Matter of fact, this one here is just about as much work as my Champion. Except my Champion, I can do that in 5 minutes. This isn't as lucky because you got to pull it out. You can't work on it in there because you can't get the condom off it. I call it the condom, the box it's in, right? So that's a Onan 12.5 kilowatt generator. Very good generator. Run like a top. Cheap on fuel. They run on almost, I think it's just under a half a gallon an hour, I think is what it is. I can't remember exactly. But it'll run 3 generators, the microwave, and the fridge at the same time. So it's a very good generator. It makes a ton of power. But you just have to stay on it and make sure that you do the maintenance on it and keep it clean. It's that's basically it. So there's not much more I can say on that one. But even though it's in that truck, I can probably have it on the ground in about 5 minutes. They're easy to come out. So yeah, that's all I got on this one. I hope you got something out of it. Now just remember, I'm not endorsing it. I'm just telling you about it. You make the choice.